Alright, we got an apple tree here that I'm going to prune, and there are some unusual circumstances around this particular tree. First of which is that it's quite rotten. It almost ought to be condemned and taken down and start over. However, part of the unusual circumstances are that the people here are older and they say it still produces apples and they want to give it one last chance. So in pruning this tree, I have to bear in mind that there's a significant weakness at the base of this tree that's going to tear this tree down if it gets even a reasonable crop. So the type of pruning that I'm going to do to this tree is going to be considerable. I've got to get enough weight off of it. So in making some of the decisions on trimming this apple tree, the first thing I have to look at are all the bad parts of the tree, any of the problems. And you can see right off the bat there's a cracked limb, so that has to come off. And the upper portion of that limb is going to be weak, so that is kind of an automatic decision. You've got to do all the major dead pieces and all the cracked limbs and some of the congested limbs. You do all that first. And once that's done, then you can decide on what you're going to do with the rest of the tree. Look at that base. The thing is pretty rotten all the way down. All the way down through here. Some decay and some holes up there. Drying out. This tree is on its last legs. But if it'll produce apples for even a couple more years, that's the goal. Now when you're working in a tree, especially a fruit tree, and you know there's going to be some additional weight added to it from the fruit, you have to look at potential weaknesses and make your decisions based upon the weaknesses. In this case right here, you can see that a branch ripped off last year or a couple years ago, and it is always going to be weak down here. So this limb over here, I took a significant piece of weight off of it. I've got to leave something over here because that's the only bit of growth on this side of the tree. But I don't want to allow too much weight to be directly associated with this weakness. Now over on this side over here, you can see where something happened here, and there's a lot of old little snip cuts in through here. This all the way down is drying out, so this is an obvious decision. I'm going to take it off all the way back to here, clean this off. A little bit of fire blight up and through here. Sometimes it's best just kind of break it off with your fingers if you can. It depends upon how far into the twigs they go. So those are some of the decisions I'm making on this particular tree. And once again, this is a last-ditch effort to try to save this declining apple tree. Hopefully we'll buy it a few more years.